is breaking news.
Breaking news in Spark, Nevada, the truth is out. Sarah Burns' face was actually burnt on a stovetop by her own father.
When Miss Burns and Mr. Burns were in an argument, Sarah decided to step in. Obviously, Mr. Burns did not like that because then he pushed her face onto the burning stove.
Sarah was told that when she was 3 years old, she pulled a pot of hot spaghetti onto her own face. For 14 years, she lived with the scars on her face being called Scarface.
On October 2nd, she was then sent to the hospital for not responding and a high level of depression.
Eric was one of her best friends during this time. He spent a lot of time with her at the hospital and was always by her side. But even Sarah wouldn't talk to Eric.
Eric always had Sarah's back. When she didn't want to go home to her dad, Eric found a safe place for her to stay.
The person Sarah stayed with was a trusted teacher named Miss Limbry. She treated Sarah just like one of her own.
When Sarah left the hospital, Mr. Burns was looking everywhere for Sarah. He called her. He went to Eric's school and called him down to the principal's office, then threatened Eric that he would hurt him if he didn't tell him where Sarah was.
Eric lied and said he didn't know where she was. A few days later, Eric was in his car and Mr. Burns was in the back seat. He attacked Eric and continually asked where Sarah was. When he still didn't answer, Mr. Burns cut his cheek and then chased him and threw a knife in his back.
Once it was revealed that Sarah's dad purposely burned her face on a stovetop, she went to find her mom because she no longer wanted to stay with her father. Her mother was not capable of taking care of her.
She was later adopted by the Lempreys. Sarah is here with us today to share her amazing story. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Okay.
Sarah, do you remember the situation that happened to you when you were 3 years old?
Not really. All I remember is waking up in a hospital bed with bandages all over my face.
How was it being called Scarface?
Hurtful.
Why did you go silent?
I don't know, I was in depression. I was tired of being made fun of.
And how long have you been friends with Eric?
For all I can remember, my whole life.
How do you feel about your dad?
Well, he's not really a good person, but he didn't treat me right at all.
Are you mad that your mom didn't want you back? Or didn't come back for you?
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't know. It's fine.
How do you feel about what your dad did to Eric?
Well, Eric's my best friend, and my dad's never done anything nice, so I don't know. I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah. After you went to the hospital, where'd you go when you left?
Eric took me to Miss Lumber's house.
Oh, that was nice of him. Was it hard leaving him then in the end?
What was the mood during this time?
Intense.
Would you say that Eric is your best friend or more than a best friend?
He's just my best friend.
So you guys don't have feelings for each other?
Not really.
How do you feel towards Miss Lumry?
I'm grateful for everything she's done for me.
Sarah, if you're looking all over